Savers are about to get a lot more choice at retirement with their savings that they've built up throughout their working life. They'll still have to use those savings responsibly and think about how those savings are going to last throughout the remaining lifetime, so making their money last. But the choices they'll have will be much more diverse. We've carried out this analysis because we want to help people make the right choice when the new freedoms become available in April next year. The old options that are available are generally annuity or drawdown, and within drawdown there's mechanisms to protect people from running out of money currently, so you have to constantly adjust your income downwards. From April next year that's not the case, so people will have to be much more disciplined with their money, particularly if they're choosing drawdown. So the reason we've carried out the analysis is essentially to help people make the right choice for them, and that might be an annuity, it might be drawdown, or it might be a mix of both. So what we did was take 3 customers, one who went into retirement 15 years ago, one who went into retirement 10 years ago, and one who went into retirement 5 years ago. And we gave them 2 choices, an annuity or drawdown. And within drawdown, we had 3 different portfolios. We had a portfolio made up of equities, we had a portfolio made up of bonds, and we had a mixed portfolio which was equities, bonds and a bit of cash. We drew income out of those drawdown portfolios in line with the annuity you would have been able to buy 15 years ago, 10 years ago or 5 years ago, and we compared how the annuity would look compared to the drawdown today. Now, the 15 years ago drawdown doesn't look so good against annuity because in most cases you'll have depleted your fund and it looks like your fund will run out before average life expectancy, whereas in the most recent example, the 2009 example, which is 5 years ago, the drawdown fund actually does quite well, particularly if you invest it in riskier assets like equities, because those have done quite well over the last 5 years. So that really highlights, I think, the choices quite well between the upside of taking risk plus the downside of taking risk. I think the big key finding is that you can't predict what's going to happen in advance. Whether you're choosing annuities or whether you're choosing drawdown, there was many people saying a few years ago that annuity rates would pick up. Well, they haven't picked up. And equally with drawdown, there might have been people saying in 1999 that drawdown was the best choice, and it's turned out not to be the best choice because you can't predict where markets go in the future. So I think that's the big issue for people is it's an uncertain future, and therefore when thinking about trying to provide a stable retirement income, you need to think about those uncertainties in advance and find ways to cope with those uncertainties. I would recommend that consumers start by carrying out a bit of their own research themselves. So Aviva's retirement centre's got a lot of information on it about all the different options available to them, and they can also go to impartial sources like the Money Advice Service. But when it boils down to making the choice, I think most people will find that they need someone's help to do that, and in most cases that will mean a regulated financial advisor is best placed to give them that advice, because if they're choosing something like drawdown, then they need to make good investment choices, they need to decide how much income is safe to withdraw, and they need to constantly manage that on an ongoing basis. Or even the choice of annuity versus drawdown, or mixing annuity and drawdown. These are quite complex choices.